Marcelo, a charming but unreliable architect, 42, left Clara, a resilient and fiercely independent teacher, 40, for Ms. Rose, a vivacious marketing executive, 35, a whirlwind romance born in the sterile fluorescent lights of their shared office building. 3 years and 2 children later, a knock echoed through Clara's quiet apartment. There stood Marcelo, looking smaller, somehow diminished, flanked by their 2 wide-eyed children, 8-year-old Sofia and 6-year-old Mateo. His voice, usually booming with confident pronouncements, was now a subdued murmur as he explained his repentance, a carefully constructed narrative of regret and longing, peppered with pleas for forgiveness. For 3 agonizing hours, Clara listened, her heart a battlefield of anger, hurt, and a lingering, stubborn affection. The children, sensing the gravity of the situation, clung to their mother, their small hands gripping her dress. Finally, exhausted and emotionally drained, Clara, surprisingly, nodded her consent. A local pastor, summoned by Marcelo, offered a prayer for reconciliation, his words a fragile bridge over the chasm of betrayal. The pastor's blessing felt like a fragile truce rather than a true reconciliation. The weight of Marcelo's actions hung heavy in the air, a silent tension that even the children seemed to sense. Clara, despite outwardly accepting Marcelo back, maintained a cautious distance. She agreed to family therapy, a slow, painful process of rebuilding trust, one carefully measured step at a time. Ironically, the apparent happy ending for the family was undercut by an unexpected twist. Ms. Rose, the woman who had shattered their family, had moved on. News of her engagement to a wealthy, older Caribbean businessman, a man boasting a fleet of yachts and a penchant for extravagant gestures, surfaced through office gossip. The irony wasn't lost on Clara. Rose, the catalyst for their initial separation, had found the stability and security she had apparently craved in the arms of someone even less faithful or reliable than Marcelo ever seemed to be. Marcelo, left with the consequences of his actions, stared blankly ahead during the session, his face reflecting a flicker of something that might be regret, perhaps shame, but perhaps even a creeping, awful realization that he'd only traded one precarious relationship for another. For Clara, meanwhile, it wasn't about forgiveness as much as a quiet determination to rebuild her life on her own terms, a life where even the return of her husband couldn't diminish the strength she discovered within herself. The family was back together, but the foundation was far from solid.